But what is the worst that can happen? Hi, I'm Michael, and welcome to my channel. We'll talk about investing and personal finance. Yeah, what a headline. I'm obviously scared because this is the first video, but I wanted to use that chance to share my knowledge here on that video. But first, a little bit about me and the introduction of that channel. I'm 34 years old and I live in Melbourne, Australia. I'm here now for roughly 5 years and it's just great. I love it. But as you can hear from my accent, I'm from Germany. That's where I grew up. And yeah, why a YouTube channel about finance? Well, it's first of all, I follow YouTube already for a really long time. I really like the idea of YouTube, of people sharing their knowledge across everyone. And I always wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I was, first of all, always too scared. And I probably didn't really knew what I want to talk about. And my occupation is IT, so I work in IT. So it was always very close to me that I thought, why not talking about IT and IT equipment or the latest tech that you should have? But it never felt really right. And I thought, there are so many people that have way more expertise in technology. You will be just someone that couldn't really keep up with them. So I left it. I didn't do it. And now the plan to talk about investing and personal finance is something that I really love doing for myself. I built up my knowledge just through the internet and through magazines and through books. And I invest for myself already for a very long time. I started investing with just 15. I got my first stock right in the middle of the internet bubble, the big boom in 2000. And obviously, it was not a good buy. But I kept going. I kept going to read about the stock market. I kept going to inform myself about what's going on, what you should need to know. I invested in some shares, and it was okay. I never really structured myself good enough to invest for the long term, and that was definitely a lack of missing information about how it really should be done. And the magazines that you could buy at the time, they're really just about the latest new stock. And I think investing is more about finding your personal way, your strategy of how you should invest your money. And I try to help find your strategy in my videos. I'll give you a little bit about background, about what that could look like. And I am gonna explain, and we're gonna go live every week, once a week, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Melbourne time, GMT plus 11, I think. We're gonna talk about those topics. And I'll walk you first through the structure of my videos. First of all, we will have a topic of the day every time when we have a video. What could that be? That could be, we talk about ETFs. What is an ETF? How does it work? And why is an ETF, an exchange traded fund, so interesting? It is a financial product and you can invest in ETF, but I'll show you what exactly that means. Or for example, we will talk about how you should split up your money, how you can save money, how much money you should invest, and where to invest. And for example, if you don't already know, how to buy stocks, what you need to know about the banks, where you buy it. And I'll try to walk you step by step through that process of learning more about investing. And I'm gonna obviously share a little bit about my stories, how I invest, and what I think is a strategy that you could follow. But as I said, every week, one new main topic. Market updates, obviously super interesting. If you are interested in the stock market, there's every day something new going on. And I have something prepared today as well, where we talk about the actual market updates. But yeah, I'll try to talk about topics that are current. At the moment, for example, that the reporting season has started, especially in the US. Then I share the YouTubers that I follow. I mentioned already that I have a passion for YouTube. I really like it. I watch YouTube quite a bit. And there are so many great content makers out there about totally different topics on the stock market, but also different things. And I'm going to share some of the people that I follow. And the third one is something new, something that I've discovered, or something that I think could be interesting for you if you watch my channel. And there will be, every week will be either a new app or a new website or a new gadget that I think could be super handy for you, whatever. Because obviously I work in IT and technology is still a thing. So who knows, maybe I'll talk about the latest iPhone if it comes out. And yeah, so this will be the structure of every video. And I hope there will be a couple of interesting videos for you to watch. So going into the first topic of the day today. The headline of the video is, why invest in stocks? And you know what? For the first video, that would be quite a hard topic to tackle. But I think one of the most important messages is, don't be scared, have a plan. I mentioned already, if you invest smart, that certainly helps finding a good strategy and being successful with investment for long term. And that's obviously what we want to do. We want to invest for our future. Potentially, we want to become financial independent. Yes, we have our day jobs where we earn money, but potentially we will be in a position when we retire eventually, that we don't need to be scared about what's coming, because we are financially independent and we have enough money to live from. There is a really interesting movement that has developed over the last years called FIRE, called Financial Independent Retire Early. Very popular in the US, but also across the globe, where young people live off a very low budget and try to save money so that they can retire early. Not everyone needs to be on that tight budget, but I think the idea behind it is very, very interesting. And we definitely go into more detail about that topic. Then, if you invest, you definitely grow your money with the economy. And we'll see that on a slide that I've prepared. If you invest for the long term, your money will grow as well over time. And this is something that you don't want to miss out on, especially when you see the current interest rates being so low. If you have your money on the bank, you are literally getting nothing back. So we definitely should change that. And connected to that is staying ahead of the inflation. There is inflation in every country. It is very low in Western type countries, but it is still there. It's usually around 2% per year that you lose on buying power. But if you invest in shares, this might be a little bit less. We can reduce that gap and it is beneficial for you. And one of the interesting things, and I'm going to mention that a couple of times in my videos in the future, as a shareholder, as someone who invested in stocks, I feel like I'm part of the business that I invest in. And there are probably a couple of quotes from Warren Buffett, who is a investing legend. And he always thinks, doesn't matter how big the companies are, if I buy shares, you should think about the idea of owning just a tiny fraction of that company, just a tiny bit, but you are part of that company. And with every dollar that company makes, you earn a little bit as well. Either the share market goes up and you earn a little bit, or you even get a dividend. And we talk about dividends as well. So I will show you what that exactly is. But yeah, we go into that topic, why you should invest a little bit more. But as an introduction, it's, as you can see, I'm super passionate about it, and I hope you will learn a little bit from it. Then some market updates, and I think that's an interesting one, and that also is kind of connected to my title. It's connected to that video in so many ways, but have a look at that. This is the current market. All different markets, either the US, the Australian share market, or the German market, they are all up very high. They are currently at their all-time highs. And that is a little bit scary, because you can see in the chart from the last 12 months that the share market has grown by 23%, by 27%, and by 24%. This is the German index, the US index, Dow Jones, and the S&P 500, the ASX 200 here in Australia. And so, as you can see, you would have made a lot of money over the last year, which is great. But it's also kind of scary when the share market grow that quickly and by that big amount. You can say that in average, over the last 30 years, the share markets grew between 6 and 8% per year. That's including all the highs that the market had, but also all the lows that the market had. But on average, every year the market grows by 7%. And so you can see this is quite high, and you can expect that the market will go down at some point, and it will happen. We just don't know when it will happen. But as I mentioned earlier, if we have a good strategy for it, it still can be very good for us as investors, even if the market goes down. And I will explain why in another video. So what I'm watching at the moment on YouTube. And funny enough, the first person I had to introduce is John Palmer, I think is his last name. And he has the YouTube channel Invest for the Future. And he is certainly one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel. He started around a year ago. He's from Australia as well, and he's a retired teacher. And his videos are just great to watch. You can see that he was in front of an audience already for quite a while, and he's very clear on his way of describing what he does and describing his way of investing. And he has two passions. So the passion in general for investing, but one passion for earnings per share growth. That's a specific method to see what the earnings of a company, how much they go up, and the net debt to equity from a company. I don't go into detail into that at the moment, but you will see in a lot of videos, he will talk about that. And yeah. And the last category of my videos is, have you heard about? Here, I'm gonna explain and show different things. Again, some websites that I find, some useful apps, a way how to save money, how to budget money, or just websites that are really interesting in terms of financial, or some websites that deliver news and where you can read about updates. And today I have an Australian website, and that's called Money Smart. And on that Money Smart website, you can read about different topics, all different financial topics, about managing your money, about how to borrow money or how to get a credit or where to get the best credit, which is very interesting to Australian investors because the house market here is very high. And also about investing in general. A really good website with a lot of resources. There are some budgeting tools as well available on that website. So a lot of really good content on that website. And yeah, back to just myself, and probably to finish off that video, I want to thank you for watching, because it's a pleasure to have you on, and I'm really excited to see you next week. I'm gonna post the topic. You can follow me on Instagram as well. It's Michael Schmidt _investing. You can see it in the description below. And don't forget to write your comments to the video. I'm excited to hear what you guys think, and leave a comment below about topics that you would like to hear about. And who knows, maybe we'll tackle it in one of the next videos. Thanks very much, and see you next time.